Hi everyone, and welcome to Mommy Mondays. I'm Gianna, and we talk about Mommy Mondays on Mommy Mondays. We talk about mommy mayhem, mommy madness, and mommy magic. So if you're new here, I put out videos on Mondays for Mommy Mondays, and I do closet conversations on a Friday, and that is about art, luxury, fashion, a little of this, a little of that, closet renovation, closet organization, you know, all sorts of things. We let the conversation go wherever it takes us. So if you're into that sort of a thing, or if you're into mommying around, I'm a new mom, so I hear something going on in my closet. Right. I'm a new mom. So I don't have much advice to offer, but I do talk about my experiences, and I let you know what I like and what I don't like, and I try to get your opinions on a lot of things too. So if you like any of that sort of content that comes on my channel, please subscribe. If you think someone else would like it, please share it so that they can subscribe, and please join all the conversations down below in the comments. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you don't like it, please let me know in the comments why not. Yeah, so here we go now. I'm talking to you today about bodies, mom bods, pregnancy bods, that sort of a thing. Manju had given me a question on one of these videos, and she asked, you know, how did you love your body during the whole pregnancy process, and did you love your body, and that sort of a thing. And then she went on to asking, like, and how many changes have there been since you had the baby, and how are you feeling about that? All amazing questions. So I'm going to cover it in an actual video because I think it's that important. So first of all, for those of you who don't know anything about me, I am one of Jamaica's first plus size models ever. So I used to model. It wasn't a full-time job, but I was pretty regularly booked. I stayed booked and busy. So it would have been a full-time job if you were counting hours, right? Being in the plus size community and being from a place where a lot of people are plus size, but you were still not celebrated as much. See, it's a double-edged sword. So let me just give you a background on plus size in Jamaica. So normal Jamaican men on a whole love plus size women, but I find that different segments of society, particularly what they call uptown, will try to make it seem like, you know, fat is not where it's at. So they particular, and that's where I live, right? So I live uptown, and you know, a lot of guys, you know, until I had lost a lot of weight at some point. Until I lost a lot of weight, a lot of them didn't show any interest in me. But, you know, other Jamaicans do. And this is not like a sweeping generalization, because you do have, like, my husband was from uptown, and he appreciated all the junk in my trunk. But yeah, so it was one of those things along the way where it was very tricky situation. So it was easy to not be as body positive as you should be, whatever size you are, right? But in the plus size community, it's so tricky here. So the celebration, you don't always get it. So you kind of have to push it, especially if you are going to be out there as a plus size model, which I was. So, and I still am. Like, let's not get it twisted, right? It's just that I'm not as active as I was then, because a lot of things stopped based on COVID. Like, a lot of people stopped doing things and stuff like that. So, you know, that all slowed down. But anyway, but it's picking back up now. So yeah, so I was plus size to begin with. And then getting pregnant. So I'm celebrating my body, right? Fab at any size, all of this sort of thing. And then I get pregnant. And of course, there's no prediction. Nobody knows what's going to happen to their body in pregnancy. Nobody, right? You have no idea. Now, I was very mindful that I was, okay, so if you're going to talk health and quality of life and stuff that is associated with your weight now, I have a size 7.5 to 8 foot size, which is very small for a model, for someone with 45% BMI. Is it 45? Whatever. I don't know if it's percent that they use, but the BMI, my body mass index, is 45. So I've got a lot of fat going on, right? And I have a size 7.5 foot, right? 8. I'm 5'7" in height, right? So I'm not very tall. I mean, but photos, it's okay. Even runway, they give you high enough heels, it's okay, right? But in terms of quality of life now, those little itsy bitty feet are trying to hold up a lot of weight, right? So my feet tend to hurt quite a bit if I'm on them too long and that sort of a thing. And I know this, and it's been the case forever. So you worry that in pregnancy, your foot is going to swell. The added weight is going to cause more pain. And it's just going to be this really tumultuous time between you and your body. Now, I had other complications that are well documented on this channel. So I didn't really worry so much about, I was more worried about the complications, right? But at the same time, I didn't want to add complications. So I didn't want to end up with preeclampsia. I didn't want to end up with diabetes. I didn't, you know, the pregnancy diabetes. I don't remember what it's called. But yeah. I didn't want to end up with that. I didn't want to end up with any, like, I didn't want to end up getting too big where it would be uncomfortable. At the same time, remember, I'm not scared of weight or fat. It's just that I really didn't want to be uncomfortable, more uncomfortable, besides the complications that I was having. So I ate really well. It's the best time in my life. I ate salads. I drank 16 glasses of water a day. My breakfast was a mango every morning. People used to say, oh, you might get sugar, you might get diabetes from that. I never got, nothing changed, right? I had my 1 mango a day. My son came out super, super sweet. So if you want to know how to have a sweet baby, eat a mango a day. Now, I did not have cravings outside of those things. Like maybe I crave pickles every now and then. Not often. But I did crave the salads and I did crave the mangoes. So, you know, other people will eat the ice cream and eat the this and eat the that and, you know, indulge because 1, they can, and 2, you know, maybe they are craving that. Or maybe 3, they just think that, you know, the added calcium or whatever will help their baby. I really don't know. But I had none of those issues. Nothing like that. I didn't want the ice cream. I think maybe I had ice cream once or twice during my entire pregnancy. It wasn't a thing. So as a result, I didn't gain much weight. So people couldn't tell that I was pregnant maybe until like the 4th month, I think, is when I had a belly. And then still, you would probably have to be close to me to know. In pictures, it didn't show from the front. I had to turn to the side to actually show it. And still, it wasn't like a bump to be proud of. You know what I mean? Not till I think I got to my like late 6th month, almost 7th month, when it was a bump. And then it was a bump and it was like, yeah, we could show it. But I still had to turn to the side because my shape stayed intact. So I have a, I don't know if you know what I look like, but let's see. So if you notice, my everything goes in. So it was still in. But when I turned to the side, it was not in, it was out. So yeah, so because I wanted people to know that I was pregnant, I would turn to the side so you'd see the bump. So how did I love my body? Well, I didn't really love my body at that time, I'm going to be honest with you, because one, it was just the sheer discomfort of being in my body, right? I was dizzy, I was sweating, I was tired, I didn't feel sexy, I was sweating half the time, I had to go shower, and I had to sit to shower because I was dizzy. So it was just kind of, it was just not a good experience. And because it wasn't a good experience, I was just like, not even worried about looking, excuse me, good or sexy or anything like that. But I did shoot. I did shoot during my pregnancy, not just my maternity shoot, but like I did a campaign for JMMB, and it was with me being pregnant, and the comments on the set was like, wow, this is such a sexy pregnant woman, and oh my God, from behind you can't even tell she's pregnant, and all of that. So, I mean, people boosted my confidence, and I was well celebrated and supported during my pregnancy, but I wasn't loving my body. I wasn't loving anything. I was like, okay, I need to go through this. I need to hurry up and not be doing this anymore. Now, when I post on Instagram, people would tell me how beautiful I was, and people who saw me in person would tell me how I was glowing and all these things, all the beautiful things that they say to pregnant women. I don't know if they feel that way honestly, or if they're just saying that, but I took the opportunity because I didn't go out much during that time either. It was COVID time. So when I did go out, I made sure that I had something that like fit me well and looked nice over the bump and stuff like that, so people would, think I was gorgeous. Because the worst thing is to feel terrible and then people don't compliment you or make you feel more terrible, or whatever the case is, like, oh, you're big like a house or something like that, which I don't expect to hear because my personality is set up such that people don't come to me with that bullshit anymore. But you never know. So so there was that. Now, since I've had the baby, the changes in my body. So I gave birth. All right, so let me tell you my weight gain. So I gained about 9 pounds until I was 7 months pregnant, right? And then in the last month of being pregnant, I gained like 12 pounds. And then the last week of being pregnant, I gained like 6 pounds. What is that? So that's 18 and 9, 27. Yes, I think it was like 26. So I might be off or something. So I think I gained 26 pounds total. If it was 27, then it was 27. But the very next day after giving birth, I lost 25 pounds. So I was literally only, no, it was 1 pound. Yeah, so I only gained 26 in the whole pregnancy. I lost the 25 pounds and I was 1 pound over pre-pregnancy weight the very next day after giving birth. So I was fine with the 1 pound. I was like, whatever, it's 1 pound. I gave birth, I have a baby. But then by the following week, I lost another 7 pounds. So I was literally 6 pounds under pre-pregnancy weight 1 week after giving birth. And I was losing. Right now, I'm 30 pounds less than pre-pregnancy. I've been breastfeeding. I'm still notoriously breastfeeding. I talk about it a lot. And people see me breastfeeding a lot. So I'm 30 pounds less than before I got pregnant. Now, I had gained some weight before I got pregnant anyhow, though, because it was COVID time and I was inside, and it was that I was grieving, I was depressed. It was like a lot of things going on in my life at that time. I had lost like a few loved ones at that point, and it was just a lot. Now, but that's not really the change. Now, do I love my body? Yes, I do. But I don't love it because of how it looks anymore. I love it because of what it did. It gave birth to, like, the love of my life, first of all. And it makes me feel like almost superhuman, almost really powerful to have carried and been able to birth a human being. Also, like, I'm still breastfeeding, so I'm nourishing him. I'm contributing to his brain development. I'm helping him with his immunity. You know, like, those things, my body is doing that. My body, you know, like, even with the breast milk, it's like his saliva sends a signal to my brain so that my brain sends it to the ducts for the ducts to then decide what nutrients it's taking out of my body because of what his saliva told my body it needs. And it's giving it to him. Like, it's just amazing. God is amazing. All glory to God, right? But I mean, he designed us so well. So I love my body now. For another reason, not just how it looks, but for another reason, because of its capabilities. Now, the weight loss was interesting though, because it wasn't just weight loss, so you just don't come back down. It was kind of like a redistribution of the fat in certain places. Like, certain places got bigger and certain places got smaller. I think what happened with me is everything got exaggerated. So my tiny waist is still my tiny waist, right? But it shows a little more because the thighs that I had that were thick are thicker. I have more cellulite than before, but I would attribute that to the fact that I couldn't do anything when I was pregnant. So everything turned to mush down there. I think my legs turned to mush, but of course I couldn't see them over the belly. So now there's more, you know, all of that. My arms are pretty, I think they were always a little flabby, but I feel like they're more flabby now. But they're also smaller, apparently. So I don't know. So there's been a whole shift in the way everything sits now. And I can work on it. I think I will work on it after my son stops breastfeeding, because that takes a lot out of me. I'm beat every single day. They claim that breastfeeding burns like 500 calories each time. I really don't know what it does. I just know that it helps my son. And probably makes me lose weight. But so I'm gonna sort out, and then I can update you on what's going on with my body at that point, because I'm sure some areas will be stubborn because, you know, there are new areas. And but yeah, I found it to be such a redistribution, and like I have a pooch now, which they call a fupa in Latin countries. You know, it's that little lower stomach type thing, and I mean, I have things going on, but I don't hate them. And which I think is such an improvement, because as much as I celebrated my body before, you know, I find that maybe it was like a counter to all the negativity out there rather than a real, genuine love. Like, I feel like, you know, I liked how I looked in clothes, you know, and that made me a great model. So I can celebrate myself. But you see, now I like myself naked and I don't care. And, you know, getting there is like really important too, I think, for a lot of people. And I mean, I'm lucky that motherhood is what gave that to me. I mean, but not everybody can be mothers, right? Like, people have real problems. And I mean, I wasn't sure I was going to be a mother. I mean, and again, glory to God, I am one. So I don't want it to be something that people are hung up on waiting on motherhood to love their body and to love the skin they're in and to love themselves naked. So I really hope that people are able to find that outside of it, because I didn't even know I didn't have that until I now have it. So so yeah, it's one of those weird things. This is such a good topic because it makes you search for a lot of things, like you know. And for me, like, it's never been about outside validation. It's always been about my own validation. But how did I derive the standards that I have? It was definitely impressed upon me from whether it's family, friends, society, whatever it is, you know, media, you know. So, oh gosh, this is, Manju, thanks for asking these questions, because it's really made me think a lot. So now I'm going to charge all of you to think too. What do you love about your bodies? And please write it down below. Has your body changed, and has that made you love it more or less? And why? Because if you examine why, maybe it is that it's not your own reason why you might love it less, if you love it less, right? And since we're all on this body positivity kick, or we should be, it would be good to hear like what you're talking about, so we can all weigh in as well. The conversation needs to continue. It needs to be a positive conversation, because we're stuck in our bodies, right? And our bodies are real powerful tools. Our bodies, you know that our bodies are designed to heal themselves as well. So, you know, yeah. So tell me about the changes that you've had, and if you love them, and if you don't, and why not. Thanks for joining me for Mommy Mondays. Thanks for the question, Manju. It was great. And let's do this again. And yeah, you can stop asking me when we're having a baby now. That was the shirt that I wore during pregnancy, and I can still wear it now. In pregnancy, it was more out here because there was a big belly. But yeah, I only wear it sometimes now when I have my baby nearby. But yeah, thanks for joining me for Mommy Mondays, and see you on Friday for Closet Conversations. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel, and please share this with anyone else that you think would like this content. And please join the conversation down below and give me comments so that I know where to go next. And thanks so much for joining, and have a great week, guys.